Well, hello there. My name is Aiken, and welcome back to my Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup series. This is part 3 of the Gargoyle Monk, and this is a very difficult and interesting run so far. We are facing utter loot starvation. So far we're lacking a good weapon, we're lacking a cloak, even boots, and we have so far cleared the dungeon down to 13. Well, 13 ain't cleared, but I started some work there. We've cleared the lair, and so far we don't see any very good branded weapons apart from this possibility on D7, the Rune Demon Trident. And after thinking some about this situation, I've decided that I really want to try out if this one is good, and if it is not good, I'm gonna switch over to this Scimitar of Freezing, because scimitars are also pretty decent long blades, but I really hope this thing will do a better job. So let's see. It's a Demon Trident of Electrocution, lucky me. So for now I'm gonna turn down armor and invocations, as well as I will turn down maces and flails, and I'm gonna hard focus now onto polearms, but I'm gonna leave fighting on because I really need those extra HP. And let's see, we have a instant kill on this orc priest, but there are still a lot more guys rushing towards us. This is a very crowded entrance here. Okay, so I'm gonna stair dance, because this is not cool, fighting so many people without an axe while there's an orc priest around. Okay, so I think this was the proper decision to switch over here. The orc warrior hurts a lot with his glaive, but we do hurt a lot now too. So there goes some eating party, and yeah, I'm gonna stick to polearms for now and even train it, because the Demon Trident does only need a level of 14, and I'm not gonna lose any skill levels on maces and flails if I'm gonna find a good evening star or morning star or something like that. But I really needed an upgrade now, because this situation was not survivable anymore. Delving so deep into the dungeon without even a good weapon, that's really risky. Not to say suicidal at some point. And the Demon Trident also is a very nice tool to step over the head of my ancestor. We can pretty much teamwork here, while I'm standing safe and he's doing all the tanking, even though he's a caster, not a tank. So there's Maurice and an ogre. Maurice is pretty annoying. He's not really dangerous, but he's straight out annoying. So I want to retreat for now. Maurice can steal items out of your inventory, and he will blink away, and occasionally I think he has also the ability to teleport. I'm not too sure about that. But the point is, Maurice can escape with some useful tools in your pocket, and well, that's really annoying if he steals your last potion of heal wounds or something like that. This can really bring you into a bad situation, and from time to time it's pretty hard to catch him. So I really want to kill this guy pretty quickly, or hope that Celandrion can bring in a paralysis or something like that. That would be really nice as well. So I'm slowing down my pace here, because I really want to fight Maurice with caution, because he can also go invisible, I think. So let's check him out. Yeah, he has invisibility, teleport, blink, and sprint. Super annoying. So I have a paralysis wand as well, and I think my best option here is to try to disable him before he can reach me. There we go. And then just kill him. I really don't want to risk anything with this guy. Oh boy. This is pretty dangerous considering the lack of resistances I have. So let's resist fire right now. Don't know what spells he can use. I know that he has pure conjuration spells. Okay. So I'm gonna focus on the mages here. Celandrion killed the Drake in the meantime. Good guy. Really knows how to help me out. And this is an interesting vault. So there goes a book of minor magic. I really every time I find this book I always pick up Blink because I think it's a very useful spell to have. And there's a bunch of magic hats. Interesting. Let's try them. Let's see the fashion options. Seems like I have to stick with the white one, but it's really nice. I have a hat of See Invisible now. I think I even gonna no, didn't want to drop that. I think I want to drop this Ring of See Invisible for now. Can still grab it if I find a better headgear. But for now, I really like to have permanent Sight of Invisible. It's not really necessary, but I really like to see invisible enemies before they are in my face. Sometimes that's really good to know before it happens. So Orc 2, gotta be careful about sorcerers and high priests. And just plain out Orcish hordes. Gotta be careful about that as well. So I'm retreating here. Got some smites. Wow. They really want to protect their home. But this situation is only dangerous if you're not having a staircase to retreat to. Because as long as I can split them away from their priests, orcs are really easy to kill in the most cases. For orcish warriors you need some kind of armor class though, or they will keep being dangerous. So far, let's check if there's anything useful around here. No, not yet. So now I can fight them down here. So, paralyzed Orcish mage. That's really nice, but still this fight really hurt me a lot. Okay, so this is spooky. Ogre mages are pretty dangerous, especially with my low HP pool. I don't want to take this staircase again. I mean, this is certainly doable. Oh, I only have this once. So I don't own any magic mapping scrolls. Okay, so let's split them apart. Eat a crystal spear. Be quite dead. Okay, so he has this annoying spellbook. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this guy by the teleport trap. And I think I might want to acid him and gonna go for one curing and then start fighting. I just wanted to have enough HP to survive that one unlucky swing. Okay, so the situation is that the Ogre Mage is one of the Ogre Mages which has Lehutip's Crystal Spear in his spellbook, which is really deadly for me, because I'm really super frail. Okay. I'd really prefer to run this situation with a potion of invisibility in my pack. So I'm gonna try some random digging here. Maybe I'm lucky. Doesn't look like I'm aiming the right way. Let's check out this direction, because there has to be another pocket, and I do have a scroll of recharging in my pocket, so I can safely scout around, see if I can get in a lucky shot here, but doesn't look like I'm aiming in the right direction here. So let's go this way. See if we get lucky over here. So doesn't look like there's anything. Let's try out this area. Nope. Okay, I'm giving up. I want to save some more charges until I run into another recharging scroll. Okay, so I'm definitely not gonna proceed here. Let's head over to D13. And see if we can do something there. So there was the ice vault, and there's an ice dragon, which is out of depth, because at this point of the game you shouldn't meet ice dragons yet, and I really have to be wearing this ring of ice in my pocket to survive this fight. But I have some potions. I even have a potion of resistance. I just need to remember this ring as soon as the ice dragon shows up. Okay. But with the demon trident of electrocution, I'm really happy right now, and I think I'm gonna enchant it. It's the best shot to victory the game has given to me yet. So we're getting closer to the vicinity of the dragon. Yeah, there he is. Gonna put up the ring now. And remove some of the weaker enemies in front of this, because they do some damage, and I really want to be full HP when I face this dragon. Okay, there he goes. Okay, this hurt way less than last time. Okay, there we go. Some ice dragon scales. I don't think I want to switch. Let's check. It's armor 9. Low encumbrance though. And compared to my... it's much less encumbrance, but well, I don't want to be vulnerable to fire. And it's no real upgrade toward between my plate armor and this armor. Would be actually a downgrade for 1 AC. Okay, so the next thing I wanna dig up would be a better shield. But looks like we're on a healthier spot now. Hope I'm gonna hit some potion of invisibility pretty soon, because as far as I remember, this is annoying. Let's retreat. Oh, thank you, good sir. Praise the random blinkings. Okay. I wanted to say, as far as I remember, ogre mages can't see invisible, or do they? It can see invisible. Dang. Cool. Okay, so that's not an option. More HP would be an option, though. Okay, so let's go downstairs, see if we can survive D14, but I'm gonna be really careful now, because I feel kinda under-equipped right now. I mean, everything works somehow, but I feel super frail. I'm lacking some really good equipment, and there's some equipment slots I don't have items on yet. But let's check, did I overlook any? Sometimes I don't notice items. So there's a cloak on Orc 1. That's something. I don't want to run now, though. It's not special enough. Okay, so this is getting sticky. Cyclops can dish out tremendous amounts of damage with their rocks. But they're fairly squishy once you get close and have a decent weapon, which I have by now. Soldier, and gonna focus down the Cyclops first. That's way more damage on him than on the Ant. Okay. I really feel scared from going to Orc 2 again with this Ogre Mage standing at the staircase. Okay, so there go the ugly things again. They're messing up Celandrion pretty hard, so we're gonna switch. Can try to idealize once though. Let's see what this does. Okay, he goes absolutely nuts and destroying everything. Nice. So, seems like Invocations 10 works out. Okay. So I don't want to have a Wand of Enslavement. And I think I'm gonna get rid of some wands pretty soon as well. Not yet though. Okay. But at least the weapon starvation is not a deal anymore. This trident does sufficient amounts of damage for now. I mean, I can't even finish the game with it. It's a scroll of acquirement, so that's a tough choice. But I think I'm gonna go for armor, because this weapon is really good enough. What I'm lacking is resistances. Okay, so this shield of protection doesn't provide too much resistance. It provides more AC, but that's an upgrade. I'm gonna put up shields now. Gonna keep pole arms focused though, to catch up. Because right now my skill level is still pretty low, so I'm not wielding this weapon at full efficiency. Hit rating ain't that good yet, but it'll come with the time. So D15 now. Okay, pretty big orc pack. Got rid of some of these. Our Hexa does a lot of work on this pack. He took out the worst parts of this pack with the paralysis. Really grateful here. Fancy Rue altar. I really like these temple settings here. Another skeleton. Okay. So that's a rather dumb approach on a Cyclops. The whole situation here was a bit rash. Shouldn't do it like that. There could have been something worse than a bunch of mosquitoes around this corner. Okay, a fire giant and the entrance to the depths, and we're getting flanked by a Cyclops. Gonna get rid of the Cyclops first, and let's check. We are resistant to fire. He's wielding a great sword of flaming. Okay, so let's carefully take a few hits on him, but we got away pretty well with him. So seems like as long as I'm switching my resistances properly, I'm somehow okay with proceeding here. Oh, there's a ancient weapon scroll. I really wanna put it to use. I think I'm gonna stick to this spear for now. I would only switch into an evening star now. Wouldn't switch into a morning star now anymore, because they have the same base damage rating, and yeah. Oh no, the morning star is in fact a little bit stronger, but it's not enough of a difference to make the swap here worthwhile anymore. A scroll of brand weapon. Thanks, RNG. All this talking about not switching anymore. There goes the scroll of brand weapon. No. I think the Demon Trident is a good thing with my ancestor. Okay, so we're done with D15. We did that with pretty little problems after we switched to the Demon Trident. So I don't want to go for Orc 2, because I feel like I want to have at least 100 hit points before I try that again. So I think it's time to carefully roam towards our first rune, which would be the swamp. Snake pit should be doable also, but I feel like swamp is the easier branch. Naga can put out a considerable amount of damage with the constriction, and the problem with constriction is that it can ignore armor class. It will just deal a flat amount of damage, as far as I remember constriction mechanics. You can always prove me wrong in the comments down there. I'm not all-knowing, and I do make mistakes from time to time. Every man makes a mistake from time to time. But as far as I know, constriction damage goes through your armor class, and that's why these guys will be a bit more dangerous than the most things I can face here in the swamp. But the swamp has a few denizens which I really gotta be careful with, which will be thorn hunters and shambling mangroves. Thorn hunters have a very powerful ranged attack. I've mentioned them in the last video as well, but with my very low base HP they are a really dangerous thing to face. The swamp dragons, though, are really harmless because I'm absolutely poison immune, so they can't deal any damage to me with their poisonous breath. Okay. Spriggan riders. I'm a bit anxious about those. Let's see if Celandrion can do some work here. They seem to be unable to kill him, which is nice. I could also just attack instead of watch, but it's also nice to have a look how good your ancestor can fight on his own. Okay, so there goes the first Hydra down here, but we're doing really well here. We're doing really well here. I think I'm pretty set for the most enemies of the swamp. Gotta be careful about my first Thorn Hunter and Shambling Mangrove though. We got the Demon Trident enchanted up to +6 now, which is really good, because right on this point you really feel the difference in the damage between a +1 and a +6 weapon. Some slaying would be nice. If I find some slaying now, this game has enough damage to be finished. But a +9 Demon Trident will work too. Only thing I really want to have is a bit more resistances and MR and passive means of protection. I mean, the swamp again doesn't feature too much elemental damage sources. Okay, so there goes a ghost crab. The main portion of damage in the swamps is poison damage, some fire damage from time to time, cold damage from the bog bodies, but no real huge issue. Okay, so this is a Spriggan pack. This is pretty dangerous, but let's see how this will work out. Okay, perfect. Celandrion took the Spriggan Druid, and he almost killed him on his own, while I was busy stabbing the Spriggans, and I'm noticing that the +6 enchantment is enough to hit the Spriggans at a good rate, which is good, because they have a good evasion rating, and sometimes if you lack slaying or a good enchantment ratio on your weapon, you really notice that you're having a hard time killing these little critters, because they're evading a lot. But looks like we're in a good way here. And let's hope this little gargoyle can safely retrieve the orb and save the world. That would be nice, huh? Okay. So we're having a lot of gold by now. Okay. Hydra and a lot of other baddies, and our ancestors down. I'm kiting this back a bit because I feel like this is a situation which I don't want to face without a good corner or something like that. Okay. So we can see how this worked out. We took a lot of damage, and I was a bit scared for a moment, and in the end everything turned out fine. But mainly because I was able to stall out this fight on the corner and cut out the Hydra for a while. If this Hydra would have been beside me the whole fight, stuff would have gotten ugly. Okay, so we are facing our first Shambling Mangrove. They slow, and they can summon a bunch of hornets, and they can also hit like a truck. That's Shambling Mangroves in a nutshell. But looks like we're at a good point. AC 34 helps a lot. And here comes the racial trait of the Gargoyle to a very good help for me, because I have a natural +11 here on AC, and this means even though I'm not finding any good gear, any good armor, I'm still running around with a lousy +1 plate armor, but I can sufficiently tank out stuff like these hydras and mangroves, and everything just doesn't hurt you that much if you're a gargoyle. The weakness though is in skill damages, in magic damage, in stuff you don't have the proper resistance against, which can pretty much blow you up instantly. And there's a handful of enemies you just should run away from. Let's hope I won't face them in this game. But if I face something like that, I'm gonna do my best to survive this. So, next mangrove. Let's see if this was luck or no. Okay. Some slime creatures. Ugh. They're piling up. And the Hydra joins the fight. But we're pretty much slaughtering these guys by now. And again, this game was pretty lucky with the random god challenge, because I think Hep is a very fine choice for a gargoyle. I mean, to lose another 10% of your HP hurts a lot, that's true, but the companion you get is really worth losing 10% of your HP. I think I wouldn't have survived the early game without Hep. Only if I have had another useful god, that's for sure. But Hep carried me over the face with the -3 flail in the early game pretty well, because my ancestor was there for me, killing stuff, hexing stuff, softening up the enemies before he crumbles. That's a lot of good work the god does for you. We have a pair of boots, finally, and it's a pair of running boots. I gladly waited for these. Boots of running are kinda like a pair of boots everybody likes to see. And the scroll of acquirement. Seems like loot starvation is coming to an end. And then the pair of boots. Whoops, I shouldn't have called it. Okay. The blink on them is really nice, but the rest of the boots is absolutely useless to me, because I don't need resist poison, and resist cold minus would hurt me a lot here. There's a large shield. That's nice. I will gladly swap the shield with a large shield as soon as my shield skill is on a proper level, because the 3 AC from the protection brand, I won't miss them too much. So let's magic map this level and have a look. Looks like this is again the Swamp Dragon Hydra ending. Could contain a few other dragons if I'm unlucky. And there goes a magic cloak. Magic resistance. Okay. The pieces are coming together here. Okay. Magic resistance is a very good spot now. And yeah, we're getting there. I was a bit nervous, to be honest, if I would die on this run before I can grab at least a rune. But yeah, sometimes runs are like that you're pretty much not finding the stuff you need to find. And if I didn't mark out this demon trident back on D7 and just decided to, man, I'm gonna wait for this mace, I need a mace or an axe, let's check. There's still, besides from this Wrath of Trog thingy, no real good axe. So sometimes you really gotta work with what's around and not with what you want to have, because crawl can be sometimes really harsh in terms of loot starvation from time to time. That's pretty much the difficulty in succeeding on a regular basis. I mean, sometimes you're really just lucky and get a scroll of acquirement really early, get a very nice artifact weapon very early. Sometimes you really just find on D4 a weapon you can finish the game with. That stuff happens, but sometimes it happens that you just find nothing and gotta survive somehow. Okay, so there are some swamp dragons here. Drakes, not dragons. Next thing on my list would be a nice amulet. And there goes a glowing broadaxe. Okay. So we're in a very, very, very sticky situation here. We're facing a thorn hunter behind all these enemies. And I really don't want to be here. I'm gonna instantly blow up a scroll of teleportation because there are so many dangerous enemies here, and thorn hunters can deal a lot of damage with their ranged attack, and I don't want to mess around with that. This can easily blow me up. Considering how frail I am, I really need to play around situations like these super careful. That's basically, in my opinion, the major challenge on playing a gargoyle, to respect the very, very low base HP you have. And my hexer here did a really nice paralysis on the shambling mangrove. It's again a point where Hep really shines as a god. I took this fight a long way back because this stuff really got spooky. And I think about switching over to my cold resistance when I face these bog bodies. This guy just did a lot of damage to me. I really want to check out the next time I see one how he hurt me so much. This is bad. I want to heal up. This is an easy fight with full HP for me, but this is Swamp 4. This is a rune level. You gotta respect the rune levels, because basically here the game just tries to blow you up as hard as it can. And I still can get unlucky and find some really nasty unique here lingering around, waiting to say hi to me and kill me. Stuff like that can always happen, and that's why I really respect their rune levels a lot, because in every rune branch you have some kind of endgame vault which is crowded with a lot of stuff. And there's a bog body, and yes, it was just a bolt of cold which blew me up like that. Interesting. Okay. But I have a slight feeling that I cleared out a lot of this vault again already. So there's the Thorn Hunter. Okay. So let's carefully fight. We got hit once. Okay. I think he didn't use his ranged attack at all in this fight, so I don't feel too safe yet. Gotta check out one or two more fights against these. So, it's just a basic Broadex. Nothing too special. But I'm gonna keep it. If I run into another Scroll of Brand weapon, this could be a nice option. And there goes another rendered short sword. No thank you, game. I'm not into short blades. Really not. Okay. Yikes. Okay. So this is absolutely terrible how this guy blows me up. Turn after turn. I'm just losing all of my healing potions. Yeah. I think I'm gonna take my rune and head away from here. There's no blinking scroll. I really needed a blink scroll there. Holy. Let's go upstairs. I'm a bit shocked how I lost all my heal wound potions here in just one situation. But we got the rune. We're still alive, somehow. Okay, so let's check. There's nothing I want to buy. I want to see if I can go for Orc 2 now. Because I have a lot of gold, I really want to spend it. And I think I should be able to deal with a Ogre Mage by now. Yeah, I deal a tremendous amount of damage by now. And they don't use the Crystal Spear every single time. Was a bit of a gamble though, but at this point I think I need to take some risks to get some rewards. So it's the demon ending. It's a pretty dangerous ending because it contains a bunch of permanently spawned demons alongside with some demon spawn, which is pretty spooky. If I run into an Ecosec, I could catch a few bad mutations. Stuff like that. Okay, so I'd rather prefer to avoid the mid for now. And hope I will find some marking trap. Oh boy. This is pretty ugly, but we made it to the stairs. There was a stone giant. Okay. Yeah. Traps. Gotta love them. I think I'm gonna try to sit this out some and get some of these guys upstairs to give them some beating, and hopefully the stone giant will run out of ammo at some point. And here we are. I'm gonna put up a potion of might in this situation. This is really worth to might into, because the stone giant is a very powerful enemy at this point of the game. And we were encircled, but I think this could have worked even without a Potion of Might, but better safe than sorry. So there's one of the permanently spawned demons. A lot of stuff broke out of the center vault and was streaming towards me here. But I'm okay with that, because I have a decent armor class by now. Let's recall Celandrion. Let's check out forces. Exchange places with your ancestor. I see. Oh, Celandrion just got smacked by these axe-wielding orcs. Okay. Yeah, I think I have a sufficient weapon here. But I still would like to have a alternative option for lightning-resistant enemies, because this could get pretty ugly at some point. Okay. So I think I'm gonna clear out Orc 2 and end this recording at that point then. But looks like we're facing the finale, the center vault. Actually gonna go for the other two pockets. I really want to know where they are. So I was pretty close actually. Get to me, my friend. Oh, there's an orc. Ugh. That was pretty silly from me. Overall, this is getting messy. Gotta take it more slowly at this point. It's okay to play a bit careless at this point, but as long as you notice when you need to slow down and take things more serious. Okay, so this was pocket 1. Let's check where the other one is. That's a 1% chance to paralyze me. It's still... There were so many priests. I needed to kill them before I could retreat. Because retreating with a bunch of priests in your back is really terrible. Sometimes you have to, but I'm strong enough now to rush in, bring down the priests, and retreat afterwards. I can reach over and kill this priest. And yeah. So Swamp was really good to us. It might have cost me all my healing potions, but the second pocket is pretty cheap. I was so close. I was literally just... well, yeah, I thought of something like that. Well, I tried. So there goes a high priest, and he's already summoned some demon. I don't want to face this. As soon as high priests get too much time spawning demons, it's better to retreat to an upstairs and let the summoned demons despawn. Okay, but seems like we're managing here. And the Necrosec didn't manage to malmutate us, but I think Celandrion covered me here again. He's being a real buddy to me. So, at the point when you hit level 15 with Hep and the Hexer, the paralysis option really makes a big difference in some situations. When suddenly a paralyze shows up where you don't expect it to happen, it really helps to clear out sticky situations pretty well. So let's check. So we have some scrolls. Let's pick up the ID scrolls. I really want to have these. Enchant weapon is also pretty interesting, and I'm gonna mark the other scrolls here. Some scroll of blinking. It's only one, but at least one. Let's pick up these utility scrolls as well. Maybe the holy word as well. Sometimes it's really useful. And we have a bunch of ID scrolls here. But one scroll of blinking ain't much, but it's a start. And my inventory is full. So I'm gonna drop some of these wands I'm not using anymore. Probably gonna get rid of all of these because I have Celandrion on my side. I don't need to hex manually. I mean, with Maurice it worked pretty well, but the coming enemies I'll be facing, they won't be I won't be able to paralyze them without skilling evocations, and I don't plan to skill evocations yet. And here the Demon Trident was able to kill the High Priest behind his minions. I think the switch over to pole arms was a bit rough in the start, but a good decision overall. But I gotta admit, popping off a electrocution brand on a Demon Trident is also pretty much one of the best brands you can get. So this is pretty ugly, but we're managing. I'm focusing the caster first because I can tank out a lot of abuse here. A Demon Blade of Venom could be nice, but not necessarily. So let's see. There's a Morning Star. Rendart. Let's check. We have some ID scrolls on us. And yeah, if it would be plus 11, it would be pretty nice, but I don't like weaponry, which occasionally makes me go berserk. Really not. I'm gonna pick up this lightning rod alongside with the phantom mirror, and I wanna have this Phial of Floods later. It's useful stuff. It's really useful stuff. Most of these you don't even need to skill evocations for. So, let's have a look at our situation. We're wielding a very good weapon. The shield is okay. We have a large shield to back it up later. Armor is meh, but some resist negative energy is also not bad to have. We have See Invisible, we have MR, we have Boots of Running. We have some good options on our rings as well. We have the basic resistances covered. We're not over-equipped at all, but we're sufficiently equipped to try a punch on the snake pit. Let's travel there. And I'm gonna end this episode at this point. We're gonna do the snake pit on the next one. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the time. Hope you like the adventures of this little guy so far. And yeah, I see you guys next time. And bye bye.